about, which is really the most important thing today. In case you haven't already heard or read in an email or come to class to hear me discuss, you do have a final paper project that is in fact due December the 11th at 11:59 p.m. This is due as a Google document. Do not email me a Word document. Do not email me a PDF. This is due as a Google document. Now we're going to go up to the top of the screen. We're still inside coursework. We're still inside Unit 4. We're going to go up to the top of the screen inside Unit 4 folder, and we're going to take a look at the paper project subfolder. Some of the things inside this subfolder currently include guidelines, instructions, directions for creating and submitting this paper, a sample or 2 or 3, so that you can tell the kind of work I'm looking for, as well as some assistance creating and sharing a Google document in case you've never done that. Now, we're going to click inside, and we're going to start by looking at the final paper project instructions guidelines. Again, these have been emailed to all of you. These have been placed in the Blackboard announcements. These are currently inside the subfolder of Unit 4 in Blackboard coursework. And of course, I'm also going to show them to you right now. Again, psychology project instructions. This is due 11:59 p.m. December 11th, 2020 as a shared Google document. A shared Google document. More on that in a moment. The general guidelines are to pretend you're a social science journalist. Your job is to write a psychological feature story for an online news source that you believe A, has not been told and or has not been told from your unique perspective, and B, has scientific merit and real-world value, and C, that you can put your own creative spin on while maintaining accuracy and scientific credibility. I want these papers to sound scientific. I want these papers to use appropriate scientific terminology, theories, concepts. I don't want this to be just a fluff piece that is a matter of opinion. I don't want this to be completely about a story you've made up. And I certainly don't want you to just pick a topic and just drone on about facts related to this topic that you simply Googled, cut, and pasted. Please read through some of the sample papers that I have prepared for you so that you can see the caliber of creativity and storytelling that I'm looking for. 2, you are to research, explore topics related to this course, this book, or psychology in general. You will create a unique and clever story or position about something specific. I find that a unique perspective or a clever angle makes for fun writing and reading, by the way. 2 fundamental ways to make a topic interesting to me is to think about making an ordinary topic sound extraordinary and making an extraordinary topic sound ordinary. One way to do this, if I could use an example, would be, let's see. Let's take something ordinary like chalk. Right? This is just a run-of-the-mill example of industrial white chalk. Pretty straightforward, pretty mundane, pretty ordinary, and honestly a little boring. Right? If this were an art project and you painted this piece of chalk, you probably wouldn't get a high grade on it, and you probably wouldn't have a lot of people packing into the room to look at your art installation. However, what I want you to notice is that by changing the perspective, changing your perspective, you can call attention to some different elements of chalk. My friends, this is also chalk. All of these are examples of chalk, magnified thousands and thousands of times. I believe most, if not all of these images were taken by a high-powered scanning electron microscope. And I know that this is not an art project, but the example I'm giving you should still sort of prove the point I'm trying to make. You can take something as boring as chalk, right, and turn it into something that's beautiful, intriguing, and interesting by simply changing the perspective. You can change the perspective on a topic, on a term, on a theory, on an idea as well in your writing. More on that when I show you an actual example. Number 3, your article feature must be between 1,000 and 1,500 words. This does not include your title page. This does not include your works cited. Okay, 1,000 to 1,500 words. It must be laid out like a popular online news magazine or journal. Be sure that it indicates or includes a journal magazine name, your name, a date, a title, and please be as catchy and creative as you can with your title. And finally, a subtitle, and be very tame and scientific and calculating with your subtitle. I'll show you what I mean when I give you an example here in a minute. Again, this project is due no later than December 11th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. Make sure that you share it with me. Share it with me. You can look below to see instructions on how to share a document. You can also look, I have emailed and or put under the announcements a screencast directional video explaining how to create and share a Google document. And just make sure when you share this Google document, you share it with me, J. McCoy at cfcc.edu, or mjmccoy58 at mail.cfcc.edu. That's MAIL. You can see my email address on your syllabus and elsewhere. And you need to share your document from your school Gmail account, not from your personal Gmail or a Yahoo account, but from your school CFCC school Gmail account, not your high school account, your CFCC Gmail account. More specifics. Your work must be in the form of a Google document. I've already said that. To create a document, you can go to your email, look in the top right of the screen. There will be a matrix of little dots. Click on those dots. Once you're inside, you'll see a variety of options. Select the one that allows you to create from a blank document. This document or space will look like an MS Word document when you get inside it, except it will be easier to navigate. And it'll also let me see, once you share your work, what you're doing and what you have done. Also, you will not need to save anything really, because once you get inside this document, create a title and start going, it's going to auto-save for you. Just make sure you name the document something you can remember. You can do this by clicking on the field that says Untitled right at the top left of your screen. When you're ready to submit your work to me, just click Share and put my email address in the field. Again, it's mjmccoy58 at mail.cfcc.edu. Or, of course, you can also email it to jmccoy at cfcc.edu. In addition, your paper must have at least one picture. And please use the text wrap function by right-clicking on the picture and formatting that picture so that it wraps around or within your text. This will make your paper look much better. You will find this text wrap feature again by clicking on the image or clicking right mouse on the image inside your document. You must also have at least one chart, figure, or table, something that highlights data that you've found relating to your specific paper's angle. For example, what is in the particular that you are trying to convey? What is it in particular you're trying to convey? Finally, your paper should include at least one hyperlink. A hyperlink should be a video, podcast, peer-reviewed journal article, that is a scientific paper, or some kind of expert interview. This hyperlink should be for something that adds meaningful value to the crux of your paper. If you don't know how to create a hyperlink, simply reach out and ask me, or Google, how do I create a hyperlink? Make sure before you share that you have checked to see if you're giving me edit privileges. At the very least, I need to have commentary privileges. You need to check and see the settings when you're sharing, what kind of privileges I have. Can I edit? Can I comment? Or can I just view it? There is a drop-down window directly beside the field where you type the person's email for sharing that lets you do that. Now, again, I'll be happy to share other examples with you outside of class as well. Just simply let me know. But here are two examples. One's called The Crazy Cat Lady. Another is called A Letter from Pavlov's Dog. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and see if I can find another that's even better than these two. When you click on access to this project instructions list, you should see the new one pop up underneath or on top of these samples. So let me see if I can find those. We're going to go back out to announcements. I'm going to scroll down to the announcement I sent you on November 23rd, 9:15. At least I updated it today. Either one of these should work. The one that says click here to see your psychology project instructions. I'll go ahead and click it because I have updated it. At least I think I have. Yep. If you notice, I have one additional paper inside here called the Executioner Sings. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on that, and I'll show you what I have. This has not been edited. It's not a final draft. I just created this this weekend really quickly for you guys to see the kind of quality, kind of layout, kind of organization that I'm looking for. So you can see that I created a fake National Geographic cover, which I think is a nice touch, and I look forward to seeing what you guys are capable of doing. I did this by simply going to Google and clicking National Geographic covers. I can do that right now. That would give me an idea. That way it would give me an idea. Nat Geo covers. It would give me an idea of what I wanted to create. And I noticed that I tended to like the black covers with the gold around them and white lettering. So that's exactly what I did. I studied some of these covers, and then I went into PowerPoint to create this, by the way. I went into PowerPoint and started creating borders and colors and text. And I just copied and pasted a black image over in. Yep. So it literally took me about 5 minutes to create this. It looks quite professional, but honestly, it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. And then if we scroll down, we can see some additional stuff. I don't like the orientation of that. I'll have to change that a bit. I'll end up changing this. This just tells me, just gives the image some credit, as well as provides something for a screen reader for a blind student to hear. But my article, as you can see, is a fake article from National Geographic's cover story. I entitled it, "Is There Anything Scarier Than a Serial Killer?" which is kind of a clever, catchy title. It's something that makes most people want to look a little further. If you saw that title, it might make you a little more interested than you ordinarily would be. Then if you notice, the subtitle is a little more clinical, a little more sterile, a little more sciencey sounding. A neuropsychologist explores the myth of pure evil. Then I placed my name and my affiliation down here. This is just a preference in terms of the font color I used. I didn't want to call much attention to my name. You may want to call more attention and change the color or make it bold. That's certainly okay. So you notice that I've written this and put it in 2 columns. You can put this in as many columns as you'd like. If you want to just do 1 column, you can do 1 column. It's certainly up to you in terms of how you lay it out. You can play around with these editing tools up here and change your columns, right, to 1 or 2 or 3. Just make sure that your font is something clean and normal. I don't like cursive or Comic Sans or hieroglyphic looking fonts. Also, make sure that your font size is set to around 12. Don't make it any larger or smaller than that if you can help it. Again, I'm not counting page numbers. I'll be looking to see if you have submitted between 1,000 and 1,500 words. And of course, you can do your own word count by going over here to Tools and clicking Word Count. And you can see mine is 1,761 words. That's about 1,500 words for the body of my text, and the other 200 some odd words are likely from my references in my title page. And remember, those don't count towards your 1,000 to 1,500. We scroll down and you can see that I have a chart or table that is directly related to the body of this text. And I also have a hyperlink. And I told you earlier that your project needs to have at least 1 image, at least 1 chart, graph, or something that shows data related to your topic, and at least 1 hyperlink. Here's another. This one happens to be a link to a documentary called Bad Henry about an executioner. About a man named Henry Wallace, a serial killer. And this one down here at the bottom is a hyperlink as well to an interview with an executioner from Virginia, named Mr. Givens. And the way I did the hyperlink was simply write what I wanted to write, scroll over it, and I literally click this button that says Insert Link. And when you do that, it asks you to put the URL for where you want to go. And you can also put a text here. You can put a word like here. You can put in parentheses interview with executioner, if that happened to be what your hyperlink was about. See here. And finally, the references. References are daunting for a lot of people for obvious reasons. Most of us don't know what kind of style to use. We don't know what the rules are regarding the style. I'll tell you, I prefer APA, American Psychological Association style, what's called parenthetical documentation or style. I believe that the APA style book is in its 7th edition right now. And I have good news. There is a very quick and easy way to generate a reference page. All you have to do is keep up with the websites and the books and articles and interviews that you have used to help you build this story. And then simply go, if you notice, let's go back to my outline or guidelines for doing this project. Let's scroll down to number 8, need help citing references. We're going to go to what's called Cite, C-I-T-E, FAST, www.citefast.com. And as an example, let me show you something. We're going to place our mouse, our hand, on book. The default, by the way, is the APA 7th edition, so that's perfect. You don't have to change anything or look for anything else. We'll just click on book and type Feist, Perspectives, and connections. This is your textbook. I imagine that you're going to be using your textbook at minimum as a reference for your paper. And if you do, you simply type in just a couple of keywords: vice, perspectives, and connections. This is the author's name. This is the first part of the title of your book, and click go. Or click the little magnifying glass for go. This is the newest edition. It says 2018. This is the This is the newest edition. It says 2020. This is the one you guys have. You can simply click here and hit Save Citation. Now you have your citation saved, and you can see it right up here under references. Right up here under references. You can literally hit copy and paste, and now it gives you the ability to copy and paste it back into your document. It puts these APA style references in the correct format, and it puts your list in alphabetical order. If you had a website, you would simply put in the URL. What if you used Cape Fear Community College's website? What would it look like if you cited it? It would look just like this. Might need to put HTTP. Sorry about that. Not sure what's going on. I don't want to save that citation. Let's do another website. http://www.cscc.edu. Let's see if we can do that one. So that one is right down here at the bottom. Save the citation and click copy and paste. And now you can see alphabetized are the two references we have. One a book, your textbook, the other the website for Cape Fear.